Yeah. All kings on the throne.
It's all of us. You are not alone. It's a brotherhood.
What do you define as a brother?
When we're down, we help lift up each other.
Camaraderie is rare like no other.
Real men raising the wind makes us tougher.
Together,
The brotherhood. The brotherhood.
HS Brotherhood. Welcome back to the Brotherhood Podcast. This is episode 4.
Four.
And now, this time we're going to talk about fatherhood. Having HS, being a father, or wanting to be a father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, Joey.
What's good?
We ain't got no kids, but, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's still...
No human children.
No human children.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I am a proud dog dad, and you know what I'm saying? Like, in many ways, people may not look at it like this, but it is like being a father because, like, perfect example is like where we are here today filming this podcast. I'm away from my home. So my little wolf is not home being neglected. Like, I had people coming over several times a day to feed him, walk him, and check on him. Much like a babysitter. Yeah. Right? So that's one thing I want the guys to know, like, just because you don't have children biologically doesn't take away from the fact that you can, you know, provide love and support to something as like an animal, and also possibly, you know, there's always that fear of having a child and passing the HS down to the child genetically. Like, have you had those thoughts? Because in the past that used to have me feel like I never wanted a child because I didn't want to pass this condition, this debilitating condition down to someone. But within the past few years, my perspective has changed for the better on that. And honestly, I got to keep it a stack. The reason why my perspective changed as far as wanting to become a parent is because of the people in our community like Sydney, Brindley, and Cara.
Let's go.
Because prior to meeting them, I had one purpose, and my purpose was advocacy. And I didn't realize that I can have multiple purposes in life. So it was like I had tunnel vision, and I said to myself, like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life because this is all the energy that I can give to something that I feel like is a short thing. Yeah. But once I met those women, I sat back and looked at their life like they're killing it as advocates. And they're also a spouse, they're also a parent. So why I can't have those things too?
Yeah, we're HS.
You feel what I'm saying, bro?
Yo, I do, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even at that point yet.
Nah?
No, because I don't want kids. You wanna know why?
Why's that? Yeah.
Because I feel like, you know, they say, HS hereditary, you know, it could run in the blood, the family, you know what I'm saying? So, as bad as I got HS, I don't want my kid to have to deal with it. I was dealing with it since I was young, you know what I'm saying? So, I'll be thinking, if it get passed down, you know, to my son or daughter, they're going to have to deal with it. Even though I got a little bit of more knowledge about it now, my parents didn't have knowledge on it, so I was just going through that. I don't want my kid to have it. And it's bad because I love kids. You know, I'm my niece, you know what I'm saying? I'm like a father figure to her, you know what I'm saying? And fatherhood, like what Joey was saying about you don't have to have your own kids. You know, he's a dog dad. You know, I've been around my niece since she was born, you know what I'm saying? And she was there for me when I was going through my, you know, craziness, you know what I'm saying? But I would still try to help take care of her, you know what I'm saying? Take her to parks, do all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then when my body was like messed up where I couldn't do it no more, that was hurtful for me. And that's just my niece. You know what I'm saying? Imagine myself, this is how I be thinking. I have a kid, and then they going through something. I could still be going through something, and I can't provide and do stuff that I need to do for my kid. You know what I'm saying? That's going to hurt me as a man. You know, I want to be the best father I could be. And I know HS is unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? So it might come at a place where my kid, you know, might be needing me to take him to school or, you know, practice the games, you know what I'm saying, want me to play with him. I can't roll around on the ground with my kid and play football. Yeah. Because I'm crippled. I got an abscess there. So I just be thinking about fatherhood. I wouldn't be able to be the best dad I could be because I'm gonna be too worried about my HS and what my kid will have to go through. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't know how to get to that point of feeling like I truly want kids. You know what I'm saying? But I like, I like the father figure type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You made some great points. Having children isn't for anyone, and that's fine. You're not wrong for feeling that way. There's times I feel like that as well. Also, you bring up your niece. I have a nephew and 3 nieces, so I'm like a father figure to them in many ways. Like, I'm that fun uncle. Every time I come around, they want to hang out for hours, do TikToks, this, that, and the third.
Yeah,
so,
Uncle Joey, come on, man.
When I have those experiences with them, it's like, I want this for myself. But then there's times like, I get to walk away from this and go back to peace and quiet. You know what I'm saying? Quiet. So that's what I struggle with at times too.
Yeah.
And another good thing too is like, another thing I want to mention is like, don't be so quick to attach genetics and DNA with being a parent, because adoption is always an option, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, for you scared of passing it down genetically, but if you want to wear those shoes of being a father, you can always explore adoption, you know what I'm saying? And chances are that the child that you adopt, Armani and I, we was having this conversation the other day, like, who's to say like that child doesn't have HS, or they could, and you could end up adopting them and they could have HS. And one thing that they're gonna have that you didn't is you know what I'm saying? So that's such a huge support right there alone, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, when you look back on your childhood, your mother didn't have the answers for you. You have a lot more answers now, so you can kind of soften the blow.
I could,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you make some good points right there. You know what I'm saying? But then, I'm like, I don't know how it's gonna be. I'm nervous of the future. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down when I'm thinking about kids and having them. Right. You know what I'm saying? The future. And then now adoption. I always wanted my own kid. Okay. So for you to bring up the adoption, that's another thing that I can think about and explore, because I never actually thought about that. I just think about my bloodline. I'm the baby of the family. Right. So if no more kids is after me, the bloodline is over. So I'll be thinking about that, and then I'll be having the thoughts of, if I have a kid, my bloodline can continue for the family, but my kid's gonna have to live with HS, and then when I pass, he's that's what I think about. You know what I'm saying? But now hearing what you're saying about adoption and all of that, that got me thinking differently now, because I want to be a father.
Passing HS down to your child is not 100% guaranteed, so it's just like a chance you're gonna have to take. Yeah. If that's something that you really want. Do you feel like if you don't have a child or children, like your life will be fulfilled?
Oh, yo. To be honest, no, because when I be around, when I see parents, fathers being with their kids, I see the joy when you know somebody that they didn't have kids, and then a man, one of your bros, end up having the baby, and they change for the better. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? The kid could definitely change you for the better, and you starting to put your lifestyle into the child. And I feel like I'm such a great man. My kid is gonna be such a great kid. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna steer him in the wrong direction. Right. But then it's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to, because I got that HS part. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could be the best dad and tell you good stuff and all of that. But then when that HS come into play, I was like, do I want to deal with that? Right. Do I want to, while I'm having this, raising a kid? You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that. So, did you have your father?
Oh, no, man. So, I ain't had no father. Right. I had a stepdad, but he wasn't, I ain't had no dad. Right. Nah.
So, it's crazy because, like, my father was basically absent. He would make appearances in and out of my life whenever he wasn't whenever he was sober enough to do so, you know? So in many ways, it's like, I wish I never knew him because I think it's more of a challenge for a child to know their dad to some degree versus not knowing him at all. And for a long time, I was mad at him, but thank God I had my grandfather around because I love my grandfather to the moon and back. Like, it's because of that man I am the man that I am today, right? And I almost feel like I was robbed because he was taken away from me at a critical age. I was like 16, 17. So that's like when you're basically stepping into manhood. But I said that to say, like, not having my biological father around, his absence made me a better person. And if I do plan on becoming a parent in the future, I know one thing for sure is the fact that I'm going to be nothing like that man. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the absence of not having a father can mold you into the man that you need to be for your child. You know? You feel that?
Yeah, I feel you on that because like me not having a father and getting to that age of a man where like you need your father. You know what I'm saying? Like because being raised by women,
you need that balance.
You need that balance. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be raised by females your whole life and you will be tapped into your emotions and doing not feminine stuff, but you need to learn how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? And I learned how to be a man from other men, like bosses. I had a couple bosses that really took me under, their wing. Like, no, I want to show you how to do this. This is how you're supposed to talk. Like, I think my, the person that trained me for security, he was like a father figure to me. You know what I'm saying? And it was like those guys molded me to the man that I am today. And I feel like, if I have a kid, he's gonna be, or he or she is gonna be a great person. But you know what I'm saying? I want to give that to a kid. You know what I'm saying? Either mine, I want to, but yeah, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would definitely be a great father. You have a lot of wisdom, you have a lot of experience, and you're at a point where you're learning how to deal with pain, physical pain and emotional pain. And I think it would just be a huge blessing to like help guide a young child like how to navigate through that pain, So it's not a decision that you're going to make overnight, but definitely give it some reconsideration, in my opinion.
Yeah, you definitely got to be. I'm gonna think about that some more.
Because why would you want to rob yourself of that joy if that's what you really feel in your heart? You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Just pause for a second. We're going to take a quick break and hear a quick word from our sponsors.
At HS Connect, we want to take a moment to extend our heartfelt thanks to Moonlake Immunotherapeutics, our incredible sponsor for Season 1 of the Brotherhood Podcast. Moonlake is a clinical stage company leveraging revolutionary nanobody technology to develop next-level medicines for immunologic diseases. For more information on Moonlake, visit moonlaketx.com.
Oh, I would be satisfied. The one side of me, I would be satisfied not having a kid because I don't want them to go through that. But the other side of me is like, I want to get that kid, me, you know what I'm saying? And have that joy of truly being a father. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fighting with both, but it's crazy. I'm on this side that my man is like, you shouldn't have one, so I'm robbing myself of that. So you saying that, I'm thinking twice about should I rob myself of that feeling of fatherhood, being a father. You know what I'm saying? Because the other side of me like, yo, you don't need that. But yeah, having a father and stuff is needed. You know what I mean? Especially after they chest and shit. Yo, so what's going on with it, man? What's up? What's going on in your brain, man?
I'm good, bro.
You good? All right. That's what I was just saying, because that hit something on me. Like, I am robbing myself, you know what I mean, of having, a child. You know what I'm saying? That joy, that true fulfilling. Because you don't know what it feels like until you actually going through it. People can tell you what it's like, but when you know what I mean, go through it, actually, it's like, yeah, this is what a father is like. So, know what I mean? Yeah, all that, So,
Let's talk about vulnerability.
Bro, it's just that when I hear you talk and I hear myself speak about like robbing myself, I'm over here trying to tell you something that I need to practice, you know what I'm saying? Because in the back of my mind, I'll be having those thoughts too, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I need to learn how to push past that and not rob myself of true happiness. You know what I'm saying? So that's why.
Yeah, then how? Yeah, dude, because HS to get in the way and make you think like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, which side I'ma roll with? You fighting with both of your sides of your brain. You know what I mean? And then sometimes the man side, the masculinity side, I still be fucking up that word. You know what I'm saying? The masculinity side. You know what I mean? The strong man, the pride side. You know what I mean? Roll with that. You know what I'm saying? The strong, like, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm not gonna think about somebody else. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I expected to have kids by now. Yeah, I did. You know, I done had a couple of times where it was some scares, you know, but it didn't happen. And I always told myself I wanted to be, you know, in my child's life, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to have a baby with just any female, you know what I'm saying? End up having a baby mama, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that was like one of my main things. And, you know, always had problems with finding the right one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And right now, I still haven't found the right one. And I had a major setback because of how HS messed me up mentally to really think about having a kid now. You know what I'm saying? Then just like another 5 years that slid by where I'm like, wasn't thinking about having a kid. Now I'm 35. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can still make babies, but, and I probably can't. I ain't even go check to see the sperm count. You know what I'm saying? So all the medicines I've been taking might have messed me up, but, you know, I feel like I wanted one by now. And now I might be, you know how certain people say, oh yeah, you're too old to have a kid. How your kid won and you're 40. Yeah. Nah, sometimes that come in my head too. So I be thinking I'm already old enough. Why do I need a kid now? Yeah. That's how I be thinking now.
Yeah, as for me, like, I want to say there was an age that I had in my head, but I definitely feel like the age that I'm at now, I definitely want to create something solid and build a relationship and a solid foundation with somebody. And if we both come to the point where we figure like we want to bring a child into this world, whether it's physically or adoption or just be pet parents, I'm okay with it. I'm happy, you know what I'm saying? But I know creating that family can make me reach the ultimate happiness.
And that's the goal, the happiness. Trying to give some true happiness back, you know what I'm saying? And just the love and having a family, you know what I'm saying? That love and stuff will help your mental and it'll help with your HS, you know what I'm saying?
Especially if you grew up in a family-oriented household, you know, I'm part Italian and like we're close.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. Italy.
Sicily. I think so. I don't know.
You get some of that.
I'm Italian from Brooklyn, bro.
Let's go.
Yeah, P. So we get into the end of this episode, and basically what I want to say is the fact that, you know, just because we don't have children, that doesn't take away from the fact that we are good men.
We are good.